Hey gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and today I'm going to be reviewing Relics of Rajavihara, a solo block-pushing puzzle game from Crazy Like a Box. So here's the box for Relics of Rajavihara. It is a puzzle game that's going to increase in complexity, so when you open the box, you're going to get a board, an advertisement with a Facebook group, some rules, and then you're going to get a bunch of different levels. So you're going to start with level 1 and proceed through 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's some more challenges in level X. One thing I actually like about this box is that there aren't a ton of moving pieces going everywhere in the box. It's fairly contained in the little level boxes. So I'm going to show you a level from level 1 to kind of give you a sense of how the game works, but I'm not going to show you any more because I want you to enjoy the surprise as it comes. So you have level 1, which is going to be normal boxes, as you'll see, but then you get new mechanisms and new types of blocks to manipulate in the puzzle as you go. So when I say blocks, let's get a look at what I mean. Let's do some setup. So I've just dumped the contents of the level 1 box. You're gonna have a deck, and I just kept it in order because it'll tell you, flip this deck and go to the other side. So keeping the cards in order if you're planning to go back or let somebody else see the game is a good idea. But you just get this little deck of cards that each has a puzzle, which I'll show you in a moment. And you also get this collection of crates, which we're gonna stack in order to complete a puzzle. So I'm gonna set up the first one, and then we're gonna do it. The deck is also going to have some little rules for you. So this time you flip the top card and it's going to tell you floor 1 crate. It can be stood on, it can be pushed in any direction. So we know mechanically what we're allowed to do with these crates. Then you flip the next card in the deck and what you get is a puzzle. So in this case, we are going to try to squish our rival. So we are in here with another evil professor and we are trying to rescue the relics for good. They are trying to summon some evil spirits that will help them take over the world. So we have our work cut out for us. So let's do the setup. The setup is basically going to tell you where to stack the blocks, how high, and where your figurine and your rival or a jewel or whatever it is you're going for might go. So here's our setup. We have 4 stacks of crates that are too high. So just so you know, and we're here. Our rival is here. And if it were a different setup, we might have a different goal. So we might have one of these gemstones that we need to climb up and grab. Maybe there's 2. The goals change a little bit from puzzle to puzzle. But mechanically, things start out very simple. We can move as much as we want orthogonally, so no diagonal movements, you gotta make it orthogonal. We can climb up 1 crate. So right now these stacks are all too high, and that means that we are unable to climb them as they are. However, the other thing that you can do is push. So if I wanted to come and push a crate, I could come over here, push, and that would basically be the equivalent of pushing this block over, and the one on top, boom, falls over. So when your rival's on the board, the idea is that you want to push a block on him and crush him. So I can climb up here, but I can't push this block because it would just go off of the end, and I can't get to the other side and give it a push. Basically, if a block gets stuck up against a wall or in a corner, you can no longer move it because you can only push, you cannot pull. So you have to think mechanically about what you might do with your blocks. So what I might do this time is come around. Let's do a push. And then I'm gonna come over here, push, 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 climb, push. Okay, and now I want to get around here. I still can't because I need to be able to get behind this block in order to crush this jerk. So from here, we're gonna come back around and we can actually just push this block like this, push it up, climb, boom. We have crushed our rival and defeated the puzzle. So that's how this game intends to work. And you're gonna get puzzles of increasing complexity as you go. So what did I ultimately think about this game? Let's have some final thoughts. All right, so now for some final thoughts. I will say that I really like puzzle games, and Relics of Rajavihara definitely appealed to me on that level. It's like one really extended Legend of Zelda block pushing puzzle that gets harder and harder and harder as you go. And I was definitely pleased with the difficulty of some of the puzzles. The first level was pretty simple. Maybe I had to reset one of the puzzles and just start again because I hadn't fully thought something through. But then by Higher levels, the game is getting really, really tough, and you're gonna have to reset multiple times. You're gonna have to really think about it, experiment, try to remember what you did before so you don't make the same mistake over and over again. And I really liked that at each level, there's the introduction of a new mechanism that does change the game up and make things feel fresh again. Because 10 levels of the exact same block pushing mechanisms is enough, and it's time for a change. So they definitely got that right. If you enjoy puzzle games that are like this, then you are going to like Relics of Rajavihara. That said, honestly, this is a game that I probably would prefer as an app. It's totally fine as a board game. I'm definitely going to keep this and put it in my classroom. But I found that I don't always move my character around every step of the way because I'm too busy thinking through how the block should move, and I more or less know where she should be. And I also find that sometimes when the block stacks get too high and then you push, it's a little bit unwieldy to adjust all of the pieces on the board. None of this was a huge deal. I maybe knocked over a couple of stacks of blocks, or I got a little bit lazy because I didn't want to go through every motion of moving everything exactly the way it was supposed to move because I knew what I was doing. But I will also say that's probably a sign that this is a game that you can play very sloppily, and it's one where you should be careful because you're trying to solve puzzles. So in some ways, I think this would have been better as an app just because the movement and the piece management would make more sense on a screen. That said, I'm delighted with the little cubes. It's very tactile. It's a really fun board game implementation of this kind of block puzzle. And if that's what you're here for, then this game is going to deliver for you. I personally liked it. The puzzles were fun. They were well thought out. And the production is really nice, so it is actually very pleasant to stack all the nice little blocks together and see what you can do. So if you do want a copy of Relics of Rajavihara, it is being reprinted. It's currently on Kickstarter right now, and I will link that for you in the show notes. But either way, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and happy gaming.